Hello stars, this is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel. This is a video on the new moon in Leo that's happening today. It's going to be happening this afternoon at 1:44 Pacific Daylight Time, so 1:44 in the afternoon. And the Sabian symbol is happening at 10 degrees 58 minutes. So the Sabian symbol for 11 degrees Leo is children on a swing in a huge oak tree. So there's a lot of feeling of this new moon of playfulness, of feeling stable, feeling comforted. There's a feeling of the ancestral, lineage, feeling the stability of something that generations did long ago, like planting the oak tree that creates stability today. And therefore there's able to be joy, there's able to be a sense of carefreeness. So that's the feeling of this new moon in Leo. It's inherently playful. It can be creative. Leos are inherently creative and love social festivities, so that's got a lot of the feeling of this new moon today. So I'm going to go through each one of the signs, and also there's a lot of planets that will be entering into Virgo this month in August. Jupiter's been there for the past year, since September, and at least September, and then we've got the Sun entering Virgo this month. We've got Venus entering Virgo, and we've got Mercury entering Virgo. So there's a lot of Virgo energy coming up this month. And Virgo is very grounded energy. It's about details and duty and work and becoming dedicated and serious. But right now we are transitioning into that energy. It goes from Cancer to Leo to Virgo. So this new moon in Leo is a real opening to experiencing joy and experiencing what it is that lights us up before we transition into all this Virgo energy, which is about kind of hunkering down and getting back to business. It's funny that the new moon in Virgo always seems to happen around getting back to school, getting back to work, the end of summer, that sort of energy. And it's also harvest time, so it's when the work needs to be done of collecting everything in the fields. But new moon in Leo is what's going on right now, and this gives you, whatever you begin during this time, you can watch it grow over the next 6 months. So think about what intentions you want to set based upon your house and where this new moon in Leo falls for you, and then you can watch this energy grow over the course of the next 6 months and nurture it so that you get results when we see the full moon in Leo about 6 months from now. So I'm going to start with Leo. Leo, this new moon is happening in your first house of self and identity. So when there's a new moon in your first house, what it means is that it can be like a new you. A new self is emerging, a new way of being, a new chapter, a new cycle. It's a new you. So if there's a new way that you have been wanting to participate in the world, Leo, this is a really great time for that. If there's a new way that you wanted to try on some new qualities or a new way of being, this is a really great time to set those intentions and start developing that. So for example, if you wanted to become more patient, more compassionate, or if you wanted to start a new routine, start new lifestyle, lifestyles, new way of being in the world, anything that you want to implement, that you want to start, now is a good time to start something new, especially in regards to who you are on a core level and watching that grow over the next 6 months. So that's for Leo. For Virgo, this new moon in Leo is happening in your 12th house of dreams, of the subconscious, of fantasies, of things that are hidden from view and below the surface. It's also like the collective unconscious, and it's also a very spiritual house. So if you wanted to begin a new way of feeling unified with the rest of the world, a new spiritual inquiry, now this is a good time to begin it. Or if you wanted to begin something of exploring things that are in your subconscious, deep-seated emotions that have been hidden, or things that have been not easily accessible. It's also a good time to begin like a new dream journal. Because this is in your 12th house, because it features things like the dream world, things in your subconscious, things that have to do with the collective unconscious, it's a good time to tap into that, Virgo, and allow yourself time to really look at those dreams. There's often hidden information in dreams that come up, so I'm going to encourage you with this new moon in Leo, it being your 12th house, a good time to focus on your dreams, focus on things that are below the surface, your deep, unconscious, hidden feelings, anything that you may have repressed, anything that you may have sublimated into areas of your psyche that you haven't been willing to deal with. This is a good time to explore that, or open that door for the next 6 months to look at that, because it's really favored. This fiery, creative, supportive sign of Leo is going to be there for you in that realm, in all your 12th house inquiries. So it's a really good time for that, Virgo. Also, if you wanted to start a practice of like being more compassionate, that's 12th house energy, connecting with the rest of the universe. It's reminding me of like the star card in the tarot, where you find your place in the universe. That's 12th house energy, connecting with the one, connecting with the divine, connecting with all that is. If you've been feeling in any ways isolated or cast out, 12th house, new moon in 12th house is a really good time to really reconnect with all that is. It's also a good time to begin a deep meditative spiritual practice. So if that's something that's been appealing to you, or something that you've thought about going into, now is a good time to begin that with this new moon in Leo in your 12th house, Virgo. For Libra, this new moon in Leo is happening in your 11th house of outer society, friendships, of people, your environment. It's actually the house of humanity. So it may be a time for you to collect some new friends, Libra. Sometimes new friends show up when there's a new moon in the 11th house. The 11th house is normally ruled by Aquarius, so it's a house of an air sign, which is what you are. So it really, even though it's in Leo, which is a fire sign, because it's an air sign ruled position, it's really highlighting sort of the social aspect of things, and being out in the world, exchanging ideas. It may be a good time to pitch an idea that you've been thinking about. It's a good time to just network and, perhaps go to parties. Just that sort of light, airy Libra energy is very complementary with Aquarius and Leo. So I'm really seeing for you, Libra, this could be the beginning of a new social phase for you, collecting new friends, developing a new community, considering whether you want a new circle of friends or to add to your current social situation. It's a really wonderful time to set those intentions, and if you want to develop that over the next 6 months, it's a wonderful time to do that, Libra. Also, if you have any new innovative ideas, 11th house also rules science and innovation, and just genius ideas coming in like lightning bolts. So if you are working on any sort of scientific project or anything to do with things that regard innovation, you might get some real insights between now and the next 6 months. If you've been trying to solve a problem, or doing research on something, or working on something that requires thinking that comes out of left field, or in original, unique, innovative thinking, new moon in 11th house for you is a great time for that, Libra. So focus on social scene and mental pursuits, especially those that involve innovation, and you should see some nice fruits over the next 6 months. For Scorpio, this new moon in Leo is happening in your 10th house of career. So it's career, reputation, outer status. If you were looking to begin a new degree, like a doctorate or a master's or a bachelor's or an associate's, whatever it is that you were going to begin, that can help you now. So because it's anything that you would end up with a diploma or any sort of status, something that you could put on your wall that is featured right now, so, or new things that regard your career. So if you wanted to take a training class that helps you further your career, or even switch careers, because new moon in 10th house means new career, new reputation, new status. So it's kind of what I'm going to say, Scorpio, for you. It's like a new feather in your cap that is available to you. If you sign up now for whatever it is that you're thinking about pursuing regarding your career within the next 6 months, that could happen. If you were, for example, trying to put yourself in a position to get a promotion, a new way of being in your career. It doesn't necessarily have to be a career change, but it can be a new phase, a new cycle, a new development within your career, a new level or plateau. Now is a good time to begin that, so that by the next 6 months you are in that position. So you may want to consider some new phase of your career, or a switch in your career, because new moon in Leo supports that energy, and that will be growing and increasing over the next 6 months for you. For Sagittarius, this new moon in Leo is happening in your 9th house, which is your natural ruling house, Sag. 9th house is usually ruled by Sag, and the fact that we've got another fire sign here shows that it may be a really active time for you over the next 6 months for travel, because Sag rules travel, and here's this new opportunity to travel to new places. It also means a new opportunity for publishing. That's also ruled by Sag, for anything that has to do with communication in the outer world. So if any of you are writing a book, doing a movie, developing a, say, a record, or anything that has to do with publishing, anything that has to do with communicating with the outer world, wonderful time to begin this, Sag. And you're going to have a lot of fire energy, both with you and with this Leo new moon, to help bolster you and motivate you, and it's sort of like putting a fire under you. Now's the time to begin that. Between the efforts that you begin now, or the projects that you begin now, Sag, between now and the next 6 months, are going to have a lot of fire, a lot of energy, a lot of action, passion, in inspiration. So good time to begin any projects now. You'll see fruits from anything that you begin now over the course of the next 6 months, and then when we get that full moon in Sag, full moon in Leo, I think around next February or so, you'll see some nice fruits. So now's a good time to begin anything to do with travel, set travel plans for anything you want to travel in the next 6 months, any publishing, any communication with the outer world. It's also a good time. 9th house also rules higher learning. So if you are sort of like with Scorpio, if you want to begin something that involves higher learning, it has more to do with a spiritual, philosophical, cultural bent than the 10th house. 9th house is more about learning for the sake of learning, for knowledge, which you guys naturally thirst for. It's a good time to begin a class that has to do with new philosophy, new information, higher learning. So that's a good time to begin that, Sag. Then for Capricorn, this new moon in Leo is happening in your 8th house. 8th house is traditionally the house of Scorpio, so it's a house of sort of taboo or hidden things. People say sex, death, and taxes are all 8th house themes. So things that are taboo, things that are hidden, things that are secrets. If there's been something that you have been kind of that's been mysterious to you and you want to find out the secrets about it, now's a good time to begin that investigation. If you are like looking into something, like if you're thinking about hiring someone who's like a private investigator, new moon in Leo in your 8th house is a good time to do that. If you've been investigating like a mystery or There's been a puzzle that's been presented to you that you can't seem to come to the bottom of it. New moon in Leo in your 8th house it's sort of like shining the light in the darkness. It's saying what was hidden can become available to you. It can become revealed. And 8th house is also a house of transformation. So it can be like having transformative sex, or it can be having something that begins now that ends up transforming you over the next 6 months on a very deep level, because Scorpio, the house that rules the 8th house, is really about deep emotions, deep things that affect us on a core level. And one of the symbols of Scorpio is the phoenix rising, transforming, burning down to the ground and rising again. It's also a symbol of the snake that's catching its tail. So there's a lot of deep, hidden, taboo mysteries, things that affect us and transform us on a deep level, which is 8th house energy. So if you're looking for something that's going to change you and bring you to new depths of understanding, especially emotionally, now is a good time to begin that, Capricorn. Things that may have been taboo for you before, it may be a good time to inquire into those. You might be fascinated with subjects over the course of the next 6 months of things that seemed off limits before. For Aquarius, this new moon in Leo is happening in your house of partnership, in your 7th house. So it could be, Aquarius, a nice time to either get a new partner, you might have a new partner showing up for you, whether it's a romantic partner or business partner, or someone who you work closely with, someone who complements you well, or it could be a new phase or a new cycle of your current relationship. New moon in your partnership house says that there's something available to you in terms of partnership energy. Someone else who comes in and complements, who has all the strengths that you don't have. Someone who is, and vice versa, that you have strengths that they don't have. Someone who is very complementary, someone who is a new partner, like I said, business or romantic, or it could be a new phase regarding partnerships, because the new moon signals a new phase, and it's something that can develop over the next 6 months. So if you have been looking to transform your partnerships, if you have been looking to bring someone else into partnership with you, this is a good time to set those intentions, and potentially over the next 6 months, as you nurture that, you can see this new person showing up. And whether it's a new form of someone that you're with, a new side of them, or it's someone new entirely that you're bringing into existence for partnership, it's a really good time to focus on new partnerships. For Pisces, this new moon in Leo is happening in your 6th house of daily routine, of work, of habits, of just things of lifestyle and of health. So if you've been thinking about starting a new health regime, new moon in Leo is really going to help you with that. Or if you're thinking about how can I change my daily routine, if I want to start a new way of having daily routines, this is a great time to implement those changes. And you'll see from now over the next 6 months that that's definitely supported, and that's helped, that you've got some new fire motivation with this Leo stuff to help you in that direction. So again, if you wanted to start a new regime of going to the gym, or if you wanted to, say, change your work situation, like if you wanted to change your desk or your office or the way that you, like, I'm thinking scheduling is, because it has to do with daily routine and lifestyle. This is a new sort of daily schedule, and it's a good time to rearrange things when this new moon in Leo is supporting that. So it's a good time, or anything related to your health. So if you wanted to change your diet, new moon in Leo is a good time to review what it is, anything that affects your health. Perhaps setting up new appointments with either a doctor or dentist. All of that is featured for new moon in Leo, new moon in the 6th house energy. anything you wanted to change about your lifestyle, good time to begin that, especially if it involves work or daily routines or your health. For Aries, we have this new moon in Leo happening in your 5th house. This is creativity, true love, romance. It's just, also has to do with children. So for all you Aries, anything that has to do with you being creative or receiving new things that light up your heart, this new moon in Leo is helping you do that, or it's helping pave the way for that. So if you've been thinking about beginning a new creative project, if you've been thinking about, like, say, becoming an actor or doing anything that has to do with Leo stuff, which is creative, being on stage, social events, shining forth your own light, that's Leo can hold a stage. Leo can hold a spotlight. Leo is very creative, romantic, likes to shine forth and hold, sort of like stroke their mane. It's the lion. So anything that has to do with you becoming the lion, or just going forth and expressing yourself, that, especially creatively, that is featured right now, Aries. And in fact, regarding true love, if you're in a loving partnership, this could also be a new phase of your love deepening. It's not necessarily partnership energy, 7th house, but 5th house is the house of romance. It's the house of true love. So you may find that someone who is a true love match for you may show up during this time, or someone that you're with, it may deepen into a true love situation. It can also be that if you're trying to conceive children, this new moon in your 5th house of children, creativity, anything that comes forth from you, this is a wonderful time to begin that. For Aries, it's really just going to be about new things that come forth from you. Creativity, creative projects, true love, and anything related to children. All those are featured for 5th house Leo. For Taurus, this new moon is happening in your 4th house. And what's funny is what I first get when I see Leo in the 4th house is I just get interior decorating. It's funny because Leo is creative. Leo, or window dressings or set design for a play. But 4th house represents the home. It represents your parents. It represents things that are related to the home. So this could be, Taurus, a new home for you. Or it could be just like a new addition to your home, like a new deck, or literally a new addition. Or it could be a new dressing for your home. With Leo, I'm seeing creativity. So it could be something that's a little bit more on stage, like you could be moving from the country into the city where there's more people, or it could be that you're painting your house like a vibrant color. Anything that has to do with the home, that's a new project. It could even be like having a Leo person coming into the house, new energy coming into the house. So it could be, because it's playful and creative, it could be like having someone who's an artist move into your house, or a new phase of creativity that is happening at your house. You may host parties at your house. Leo is a very social sign, so it might be like a new phase of bringing Leo energy into the home. So either a Leo person, Leo activities, Leo is optimistic, confident, showy, new confidence, or it could just be a new home in general, or some new phase regarding your home, whether it's a creative thing that you begin in your home, or people that you bring into your home. You might be starting to bring more people over. That could be happening for new moon in Leo, or it could just be wanting to change your living environments. It could be like, if you want to change your living environments, new moon in Leo is a good time to do it. It also could be a new phase of a new relationship with your parents or elders. That's what 4th house has to do with, is home and parents. Or it's possible, Taurus, that you could become a new parent. That's usually more 5th house stuff, because that has to do with children, but home, you know, I'm almost seeing like bringing a puppy or a kitten into the home. That's new Leo fire, especially new kitten with Leo energy. You might be bringing a new kitty home. It's possible. At any rate, Taurus, it's all regarded to the home, a new phase that's going to be happening over the next 6 months. If you want to move to a new place, setting that intention during this new moon is a good way sort of to pave the way for that. So it's all related to your home, Taurus, for the next 6 months. For Gemini, this new moon in Leo is happening in your third house of communication. You may be developing some confidence between now and over the next 6 months of a new way of communicating, or developing confidence within your communication. This is actually the house that Gemini rules. Third house is Gemini, is normally the natural placement of Gemini. So having Leo show up there, which is fire for you, which is friendship, Leo is a natural friendship energy for Gemini. So it means, and if you think of like Leo the lion and having courage and having confidence, you may develop some courage and confidence regarding your communication. It almost sounds like a tongue twister, like courage and confidence in communication. But because third house energy is all about communication, expression, it also has to do with self-expression. So when I think of third house energy, I think of the artist in terms of like saying things, radio DJs, information being conveyed over the airwaves. That's all third house energy. It has very much to do with throat chakra. So I'm going to encourage you, Gemini, over the next 6 months to begin a new way of self-expression. That's going to really be helpful to you. And you're going to have a lot of confidence and courage with this Leo energy for that. So if you want to be more confident, like if you want to just be a better public speaker, this is a good time to begin that phase, Gemini. A good time to begin practicing that, because you've got this Leo confidence and courage in this new moon sort of pushing you forward in terms of any sort of self-expression or communication. So if you're looking for a way to communicate better, now's a good time to begin it. If you're looking for a new way to communicate in general, like say you're an artist and you've always communicated in terms of like oil painting, you may have a new way of communicating where you want to start a new medium. But it all has to do with self-expression. So it's a new time to begin that, Gemini. Or you have a lot of support if you should so choose to do that. Then for Cancer, this new moon in Leo is showing up in your second house of possessions, of assets, of money, of things that you own. So with Leo likes the best of everything. And, you know, when I think of Leo, I think of gold, I think of kings, of royalty, of that sort of thing. This may be a time where you, if you want to set intentions for bringing something like that, I'm going to say something golden, into your existence over the next 6 months, now's a good time to set that intention. If you're saying, I want to bring more money in, I want to bring more gold in, I want to have this asset, I want to have this type of equipment, I want to have this type of, just possession in general. This is a good time to set that intention. It's a good time to watch that develop over the next 6 months. It may be a time where you have sort of more confidence or courage in terms of acquiring things, in terms of allowing money to come in. It's sort of like you may be trying out over the next 6 months, trying out what it feels like to be a king, what it feels like to allow assets and possessions to flourish. I'm just going to say, Cancer, for the next 6 months, right now is a good time to begin envisioning what it is like to have access to the possessions, to the assets, to the values that are important to you. And you may just want to begin envisioning what it feels like to be king. That's very Leo energy, what it feels like to be king of your own castle. Because you Cancers are very home-centered and home-focused. That's your stability. For you, home is where, you sort of operate from. And Leo in the second house is saying you can have possessions, you can have those kingly, it's saying that you can have those kingly items, you know, the crown, the gold, the best of everything. That's what it's an opportunity to invite those things in and have them show up over the next 6 months, Cancer. If that's something that you're interested in, or it's basically like saying whatever it is that you have wanted to acquire, possessions, assets, money, anything that is of tangible, it's ruled by Taurus, so it's earth energy. It is things you own. So if there's something that you have wanted to own, something that you have wanted to bring to yourself, an asset, possession, money, then new moon in Leo is going to really help you with that. It's going to give you the opportunities to sort of like open that golden door and sit on that throne for a while and welcome in riches, assets, possessions that you maybe have wanted, or that you would like to acquire, things that you would like to own. It also can have to do with values. So if there's a value, for example, a little bit more abstract, less tangible, but if you wanted to, say, become more patient or something like that, something that you value, that you want to own and implement within yourself, now's a good time to begin that as well, or call that forth. So that's my reading for the new moon in Leo. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Remember that Sabian symbol of children on a swing in a big oak tree, because it's really what this new moon in Leo is about. It's about playfulness, feeling joyful and happy through the stability that we've received from prior generations. That could be either personal or even just very in general, where we receive it through, you know, how we were born into a certain country or a certain neighborhood or a certain situation. Just things that have been handed down to us, or things that other generations have set up for us. It could be even something as simple as the fact that we have electricity or plumbing, and you know, from prior generations having set that foundation, and therefore we get to enjoy our current lives, you know, as children under this big oak tree that was planted way before for us. So focus on that. Focus on being childlike and carefree and enjoying what has been given forward to us. And that's our new moon in Leo reading. As always, I just want to thank everyone for watching. Yours in the stars. Hi everyone, this is Gwendolyn. I just wanted to say thank you to all my stars for watching and for subscribing. I just, in July, this channel has been up for a year now, and I noticed I'm up to 3,600 subscribers, which is all thanks to you guys and everyone who has subscribed. And in 12 months, that means 30 a month, which is, or no, 300 a month, which is 10 a day. So I just want to say thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure to do this channel, and I really appreciate each and every one of you who watches and who has subscribed. So as a thank you, I'm going, in recognition of those 10 a day of subscribers for the past year, which is amazing to me, I just want to give out 10 free readings. So to all of you who, you know, 10 free readings total, and I'm going to select 2 people a day for the next 5 days, and the way that you can enter your name to get one of those free readings is if you go to my web page, you can go to the contact page and just send me a quick note that says free reading, or I'm interested in the free reading. It'll be a 3-card reading. I'll do it as a pre-recorded video, and if you just want to send in your question, or actually just let me know that you're interested, and then once I select the 10 people who will get free readings, you can send me your question, and it'll just be like a 1-question reading. I'll film the video and then post it for you on my website with a password protected page so that only you can see it. But I just want to say thanks to everyone for watching and for subscribing. I still can't believe it, 10 subscribers per day for a year. So that's my 10 free readings that I want to give back to you guys. So thanks so much. Head over to my website. There's links You can find those on my channel. You can find it in the description for the videos. And then just go to the contact page and just write free reading. And then I will be announcing who those 10 free readings will be going to. I'll just be selecting those at random from everyone who sends that in. Thank you so much, stars. And again, I just really appreciate it. So this is my thank you back to you. Yours in the stars.